never dissolve marriages. Liberty of conscience is wrong. He goes on and on about the liberty of conscience. You know how wrong the liberty of conscience is? You don't have the right to think for yourself. You don't have the right to decipher good and evil for yourself. Do not eat the tree. Do not eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Do not eat that fruit. That is not a fruit that I want you to eat. Jesus says that if the fruit is good, then the tree is good. It's a delicious, red delicious apple tree in the middle of goddamn, well, it's a garden. This is a crazy ass story. It's all bullshit, but there's actually like real life implications. Hey, Adam, I know God said we get to keep the entire garden as long as we don't eat this one single fruit here. There's a million other apple trees, Eve. Are you sure you want to eat the apple from this tree? Yes. Can't we just eat these other apples? I'm sure they taste the exact same. No, he told us not to eat from this one, and I want you to do it. Because fuck you and fuck him and fuck everybody. She was made from a rib, right? So she's only like, what, a reflection of him or something? I don't. What else here? Indifferentism is a perverse opinion. He talks about the index of bad books, Clement the 13th, Acts 19:19. He's going to talk about burning books. Pope Gregory the 16th is going to go on and on about burning books. Anybody ever seen Field of Dreams? And she was sitting there having a conversation with that one fucking asshole, and she's like, are we going to just fucking burn books like we're Nazis? You Nazi cow. We're not going to just burn a bunch of books, you Nazi cow. Pope Gregory the 16th is saying, hey, remember what Clement the 13th says? Bad books is poison, bad books is bad ideas. Let's fucking burn these bad books. I feel like a bad book would just die on its own. A bad book that has a bunch of lies. Why would anybody pick up a bad book with a bunch of lies that don't tell you shit? They're talking about scientists. They're talking about Copernicus. They're saying that the sun revolves around Earth. They're maintaining the lie, the fictions that they have a monopoly on truth and a monopoly on knowledge. No power but God. Okay, I'll get down with that concept. I like that God. There is no power but God. If there's no power but God, then how come Pope Gregory the 16th declared war upon his own people? You had the papal states in Italy. You had like 5 or 6 of the papal states within Italy. They wanted a constitution similar to France's. They wanted a separation between church and state. They wanted freedom of speech and petition and the right to freedom of the press. They wanted modest reforms. They got sick of the totalitarian absolutism. Everybody has to fucking kiss Pope Gregory the 16th's ass. We got to kiss Pope Gregory the 16th's ass for all the live long fucking days. And all they did was win a couple of elections. And then guess what? Pope Gregory didn't have enough troops. He had like 1,000 troops. 150 Swiss Guard protecting him as his own personal secret service. But he didn't upkeep his own army. He had to appeal to Austria. Metternich. Gregory the 16th had to appeal to Metternich in order to get an army of 20,000 to oppress what do you got over here? To oppress his own people. And was that not the goddamn cardinal sin of King Louis the 16th? That's fucking treason. That's treason against your own people. You went ahead and got foreign troops. That's treason against your own people. You got foreign troops to attack us? Where are your people? Why would you get foreign troops to attack us? You care more for your fucking power than you do about us. When they chopped King Louis XVI's head off, they said, we need to make sure that the monarch must die in order for the nation to live. And there is something to that. History says, well, if it wasn't for those good strong-arm tactics, there's not going to be a rebellion there for another decade or two. Oh, okay. Yeah, like that didn't plant the fucking seeds for rebellion and revolution later on. Italy is unified today. So maybe they could have fucking goddamn done a couple fucking, reforms. Instead, the Pope is a prisoner in the Vatican. He don't have no papal states anymore. They used to have Rome. Catholics don't have Rome anymore. They got the Vatican. Vatican City, they don't have Rome. There was like 5 papal states that they had. They lost them all. I don't know, Gregory the 16th. Maybe you shouldn't be all about burning fucking books. You ever think about that? Maybe you should have changed a little bit. He's also against freedom. There's another pope in here that's like for freedom. So it's interesting to compare and contrast. Pope Leo the 13th. Pope Leo the 13th was for freedom. But not Gregory the 16th. He's like, nope. And it's just like Lincoln. It's like a reverse Lincoln. Lincoln gets elected. And he's the president-elect. And they're like, oh shit, he's going to get rid of slavery. They start seceding. So by the time he becomes president, he actually steps into a crisis already brewing. A crisis already in action. He steps right in the middle of a fucking situation. Of a problem. Same thing with Pope Gregory the 16th. They were sick of totalitarian absolutism, the autocracy. They were sick of theocracy. You had rising liberalism and nationalism. We are Italians. How come we're going to allow this fucking Pope, this pretender, who's getting Austrian troops to occupy us? We're Italians. Why are we allowing the Austrians to occupy us? We're Italians. Why can't we vote for our own leadership? Why can't we write what we want to write in the press? Why can't we express our thoughts freely? Let's see here. What else we got? Church discipline, not contrary to reason or natural law. Let's see here. Do I want to read another quote? Let's just read another quote. Here, we'll end it off with this last paragraph. I'll just read some of the titles. Preserve unity with the Holy See. Bishops must guard the faith. Papal authority over canonical decrees. Celibacy must be defended. Indifferentism is a perverse opinion. False freedom of publication. Action to destroy the plague of bad books. Concord between church and state. Certain societies undermine authority. God's help is necessary. Enlisting support from the princes. The Virgin Mary is our only hope. The Virgin Mary is your only hope? Well, you really are up a shit creek without a paddle. That all this may come to pass prosperously and happily, let us raise our eyes and hands to the most holy Virgin Mary, who alone crushes all heresies and is our greatest reliance and the whole reason for our hope. May she implore by her patronage a successful outcome for our plans and actions. Let us humbly ask of the Prince of the Apostles, Peter, and his co-apostle, Paul, that all of you may stand as a wall, lest a foundation be laid other than that which has already been laid. Relying on this happy hope, we trust that the author and crown of our faith, Jesus Christ, will console us in all these our tribulations. We lovingly impart the apostolic benediction to you, venerable brethren, and to the sheep committed to your care as a sign of heavenly aid. Given in Rome, St. Mary Major, August 15th, the feast of the Assumption of the Virgin in the year of our Lord, 1832, the second year of our pontificate, Gregory 16th. Poop. Poop. Pope poop. Poop pope.